Hey everybody, welcome to another area update. Hi, my name is Brian Schrader with the Coastline Real Estate team at BlueCoast Realty Corporation. Today we're going to talk about Topsail Island. As you can see right behind the Surf City Bridge that you see here on the clip resides Topsail Island. Topsail Island is pretty unique because it covers about two different counties and is about 20 to 21 miles long. As you can see here, beautiful blue water, white sands. It's a pretty unique place. And we're going to talk about not really the different developments in this series. We're going to talk about just the island and what the island has to offer and whatnot. So if you look at it on a map, the red area depicts where Topsail Island is. It's north of Wilmington, it's south of Jacksonville, and obviously it's south of all the Outer Banks that you see here on the map. So getting right into it here, let me just switch over to one of my other screens. Topsail sits right in here. Right in here. So you can see like from tip to tip, it's about 21 miles. So it's a pretty unique, large island. There's Surf City. On the beach side, there is also the mainland Surf City as well, which is close by. There are two different bridges. You have the one at Surf City, which I just pulled up. There's also one to the north, here in this location here. So you can get to it. The closest town, North Topsail Beach, is going to be Sneed's Ferry. It's a little historic fishing village. And then just north of that, you're going to find Jacksonville, North Carolina, along with Camp Lejeune, home of the Marines. So to the south, you're going to find another little area called Hampstead. So because Topsail is so long, it's 22 miles, 21 miles long, you have a lot of different areas that sit right behind this barrier island. You know, another neat, unique thing is Topsail Island's probably about an hour from the downtown historic riverfront of Wilmington, North Carolina as well. So getting back to the island, let me just switch over here to another pointer. It's pretty long. If you are buying property on any kind of barrier island, there's always risk that is associated with buying in coastal areas to begin with. So we're going to look at some of these areas. Here's a shot of a flood zone map of Topsail Island. And we're going to get to a spot here where I can show you where the dark brown area is called Zone AE. The blue area that you see here, light blue that is, or light green, that's called VE. That the VE zone is the high area for high risk for winds and high risk for flooding. And the AE zone is basically the insurance company. You're required to carry flood insurance if you have a mortgage on your property, but it's based on the elevation of the property, which is smart if you ever do decide to buy property in these areas. You want to check out the current owner's flood policy, if there is one, to see, number one, if it's assumable, but also, two, if you buy a property, you might want to get a survey along with the attached elevation certificate, because it might be very important to have that updated for your insurance policy. Now, getting back to it here on the flood maps, you'll see that the majority of the barrier island is going to be in a flood zone. There are certain pockets, as you can see here, the areas that are in this area here that aren't shaded light brown or blue or green, that aren't considered in a flood zone. You're not required to carry flood insurance in those areas. Now, do you have to carry wind and hail? Yes, you do. If you have a mortgage on the property, you are required to carry wind and hail insurance. Pretty much anything east of, I think, of Interstate 95. So you definitely will have that, but you're not required to carry the flood. Now, when I look at barrier islands and, kind of like trying to, I guess, lessen the risk, I look at where they're located on the island and also their elevation, and I look at how much dune frontage is in front of the actual home itself, if it's an ocean front as well. So one thing I will tell you, this is just my opinion, what I've learned is over the years if you are thinking about purchasing on a barrier island that faces east, which this one does face southeast, sand gets accumulated on the southern end of the island. As you can see here, you can see where the homes are built right here. And you can see all this sand has accumulated over the years. Now, the only flip side to that, I mean, it's great for the people on the south end. The only flip side is that if you look at the north end of Topsail Island, you'll see that there's a river, new river inlet right here. But you'll see that the sand gets taken away in some of these areas. And you'll see that there's some homes that are right oceanfront. They're really sitting on this front. Now, that's another thing. If you're buying coastal property, you want to make sure that if you buy something, you buy it on a lot that's rebuildable. Some of these areas, I call them the too good to be true. Hey, here's an oceanfront home that's really inexpensive. Well, you might want to check it out and do your due diligence, because it could be in one of these areas where there's high erosion, or it might be in an area where you're not able to reproduce the house or rebuild it if a storm were to come in and damage it more than, I think it's like 50% or 75%. So those are the things that you want to look at along with the dune frontage. Like, you look at some of these places here where there's no dune frontage protecting them versus some of these houses down here where you have, a good portion of the dune, good, I don't know, let's see here, what's this, about 65 feet back of dune protection, which is pretty smart. So again, Topsail Island, it's a beautiful island. There are some certain areas I would stay away from, but I wanted to kind of go over, the island. Like I said, it covers both Pender and Onslow counties, which is huge. There's 3 ocean piers on this island itself. But if you're that type of person that says, hey, I don't want to live on the beach, but I want to be near it, there are some great communities and great towns in Holly Ridge, in Sneads Ferry, and also Hampstead that might benefit you as well. So I hope that this little video has been educational for you. If you have any questions about Topsail Island or some of the neighborhoods that are on the mainland, like in Hampstead or Sneads Ferry or Holly Ridge, feel free to give me a call at the number, and I hope to see you here on the next area update. Take care now.